ball for Blackstenius. She's raced into the area. She's clear on goal. It's 2! And are England going to be knocked off their Euros perch tonight?
After the tune-in, we finally started playing a bit better.
Mead is there, and Wiegman! 2-2! Holmberg, it's over! England are in the semi-final! They expected, somehow, from somewhere, the Lionesses have delivered.
We played to win. It's another exciting tournament so far, and I hope tomorrow is going to be another exciting game. And I have one hope, is that we win it.
That is headed by Girelli, and it's in. Italy have done it. They are heading to the first semi-final since 1997.
I feel like they're going to be a little bit feisty, and maybe we have to match that.
I hope we will be more on the ball, but we have to be tight on the ball and challenge them.
This motto, in Serena we trust. We have to trust her again in the semi-final that she makes the right calls.
How's he going to commentate? Like, his voice is gone, isn't he? After that penalty shootout, his voice is completely gone. Hopefully he's had some
wasn't it?
Yeah, fantastic it was. Penalty shootouts always do that.
Yes.
All right, following us from 7 o'clock, you can hear live commentary of the Lionesses European Championship semi-final against Italy. England reached this stage after dramatic penalty shootout, as you heard there, against Sweden in the quarters, and a strong favourite to make the final against either Germany or Spain. Manager Serena Wiegman spoke to talkSPORT yesterday, and she discussed the threat that Italy will pose tonight.
I think they have played as a team really well. Tactically, they can make different decisions, so that's really good. They're powerful, of course. They have some quality up front too, and some pace. So yes, I hope we will be more on the ball, but we have to be tight on the ball and challenge them.
All right, let's bring in our reporter who's out there on the ground, Courtney Sweetman-Kirk. Courtney, before we sort of get into sort of tactical battles and what Italy are going to do and what England are going to do, Serena Wiegman, since she's been there, I mean, the change in just mindset and belief has been incredible. I almost feel like everyone walks around now thinking England will win these major tournaments because of her. What do you feel like she's brought to the nation? Because just listening to her makes you believe that you can do anything.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me, and sort of being involved in the England setup years ago in the younger age groups, I think it was very prescriptive, and there wasn't much freedom, and this is how you play. And I think in terms of like a personality, you very much had to fit a mould. And that's not going against former managers and stuff like that, but you only sort of know what you know. Whereas, you know, as the game's progressed, as the WSL has obviously become professional and made the game more popular in England, I think then that's matched with the ambition of the FA and bringing Serena Wiegman in. First of all, a player that's played and managed and won it all at the highest level, so I think that's important because she steps into that changing room automatically with a lot of authority.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing that I always think, and speaking to the girls, it's about freedom. It's about wanting to create an environment where, yes, you have to stick to a philosophy and a style of play to do what you want to do. But for me, she manages the players so well because she wants the best out of them. She doesn't want to see Chloe Kelly just pass a ball. She wants to see Chloe Kelly do what she does best in terms of get on the ball, take players on. The same with Alessia Russo. The same with Lucy Bronze. Lucy Bronze's best attribute is going forward, and sometimes, yeah, she gets caught in behind. But she always says she wants her players to do what they're best at. So I think that's the most positive thing I can say about Serena Wiegman, her player management to let the players play with freedom, and that's huge.
Courtney, I felt against Sweden, especially first half, we struggled with the pace, especially of Blackstenius. Serena Wiegman said there that Italy offer pace up front. Is there something that we need to change then tonight?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, Gabby, because there's times where we've been chasing the game, where we've gone to a three at the back and played wing backs, and I suppose that's helped because it gives you that extra body. And I suppose then it's how you look at it, because there's different ways of looking at it. Do you bring your winger back and make sure that they're not getting overloaded on that side, but obviously then you negate a threat going forward? Do you drop one of the midfielders and bring them round again, but then you lose a body in midfield? So it's an interesting one. Esme Morgan is probably a player that came on. I thought she did really well against Sweden, and she does offer a bit more pace. So I think she'll probably start if Leah Williamson is fully fit? Probably not, but I think they are the options there. And except for Esme, I think it's just one of those things actually that we've not got a lot of pace in that back line with England, so we've got to find ways to negate that. And for me, not so much against Sweden, but the France was the big one where we weren't stopping it at source. So the way that Karshau was able to pick it up in the pockets, De Almeida as well, the way that she was getting it from right back and just being able to play and then playing into Cascarino, it was far too easy. So yes, you've got to deal with the issue of pace, but actually can you stop it before that? And I think that's obviously some of the issues that we're going to look at, because Caruso, as you mentioned, in terms of Italy, she's a player that's got a lot of pace up front.
You've been around the camp, you've spoken to the players, as you said. How did England block out the noise? They are favourites. I mean, let's not beat around the bush. They are favourites to beat Italy. They've won this tournament before. How do they block out that noise and not sort of get too overconfident in the fact that, yes, it's Italy, it's not Germany, it's not France, it's not Spain, it's Italy?
I think almost in a good way, they've had the scare. They've had the scare with Sweden, they've had the scare with France. So I don't think, there's no part of me that thinks they're going into this game complacent, because they've already had that shock. In terms of the noise, I think there's something that they always sort of make sure that they keep that bubble in camp anyway and block out the noise. I think they know they come into tournaments now favourites, and that is the pressure, that is the privilege of coming into this in terms of the holders, of getting to a World Cup final, in terms of being high in the world rankings. So actually I think the pressure is something that the players like. It's something they thrive on. It's an expectation, and I think maybe 2-3 years ago it was a pressure that maybe weighed on them a little bit, but now it's just an expectation and something that they deal with.
What's the atmosphere out there like, Courtney? I mean, it looks incredible. We've heard from Angelina Kelly, and everyone seems to be enjoying it. What's it like?
Yeah, it's a great atmosphere for one in camp. I think the girls are really enjoying themselves, the fact that they've got to another semi-final, what they're achieving. And I think the big thing as well, Australia was different. It was halfway around the world, whereas I think we've got a lot more England fans out here. They can feel that. You know, the players have mentioned that, the fact they can have their families as well close by. I think that's really helped the camp. After the games, they sort of bring them all into the stands, and they can have sort of 10, 15 minutes, half an hour with their family. So that's really helping. And I think it's just another step forward for the women's game. And even for me, I think of it's sort of where we've come from, the sort of times that I played in, and looking round now, and everyone, you know, I think Angelina was speaking to people saying they've come over, spent £4,000 to come over, but they said it was worth every penny. And sort of 10 years ago in the women's game, that would never have happened. So I think the change is great to see, and looking around me now, there's plenty of England shirts and England fans really excited for the game.
You know what as well, Courtney? It's the younger generation as well back home. For instance, the team that my daughter plays for, the coaches have training every Tuesday, 7:30 to 8:30. Tonight it's 7:30 till 8. They're having a pizza and watching a game. You know, the girls want to watch the football, and they're so intrigued to see how England do tonight.
Yeah, and that's what I love, the fact that everyone's coming together. And I think the new generation as well, what I love, it's not just necessarily, and years gone by it was maybe girls and their mums or just girls and their dads, but it's everyone now. Yeah. There's all, you know, such a big spectrum of people, and young boys and young girls are now growing up just not knowing any different. And you know, they're wanting Lucy Bronze on their shirt as well as Reece James, as well as Lauren James. I don't think it's very interchangeable, because that's what they're seeing, and if you can see it, you can be it. And you know, that's something that the camp have always said. And as I say, looking around now and seeing, you know, everyone, like I say, I love the spectrum of it. There's, like I say, there's people a lot older, there's younger people, there's families, there's young sort of lads as well. So everyone's out here enjoying it and hoping that it's less stressful than it was against Sweden. And it's more of an easy win tonight, because for my heart rate and everyone else, I think that would be better for everyone involved.
In terms of sort of key players, obviously, look, you mentioned Lauren James there, and everyone looks at Alessia Russo as potentially sort of the person to kind of get us through. Who is sort of key? Who has to play well for England to go through? I know it's a collective, but who has to really stand up and be counted here?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think Hannah Hampton, obviously, I think she's really shown what she's about in this tournament and really stepped up to being the number one. Lauren James, she has to always be in the squad for me if she's anywhere near fit. You're right, she's special. She's got something that nobody else has within this squad, that little bit of magic, and it's one of those that's very, very difficult to explain, but she is a generational talent. So obviously Lauren James is one, but also I'm looking at Lucy Bronze and her performance, not necessarily just in terms of what she did on the pitch from a technical and tactical view, but the way she stood up as a leader in that Sweden game and almost took it all on her shoulders. And you see the moment of her sort of taking all her strapping off her quad after she takes the taking the penalty and all that sort of thing. It was just a little bit iconic. So yeah, I think
it's almost Paul
very
Incest,
much so we
wasn't
need
it?
the leaders within the camp today.
Yeah. In terms of
exactly. I just love that moment. So
yeah. In terms of off the bench, we spoke about I think yesterday, Michelle Agbonlahor. She probably will start on the bench, but in terms of that fire coming off the bench, what a fantastic, almost joker in the pack for Sarina Wiegman to have.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was yourself or someone else I spoke to at talkSPORT on one of the shows, but Agent of Chaos.
Yeah.
And you know what? It couldn't be any better in describing her, the way she comes on. Everyone's frightened, the pace that she's got, the power. And yes, there's some times where I think she came on and got a yellow card against Sweden because she maybe not goes over the top, but she's so excited and wanting to sort of get involved and track back for the team that as well, because of sort of her strength and her power, sometimes that does bubble over. But I don't mind that. I think we need a little bit of bite sometimes. So yeah, she's fantastic, Michelle Agbonlahor, and I hope she gets a few more minutes than she's been getting, because she comes on and she makes an impact. I still feel that it's not right for her to start at the moment, but as an impact player right now, she's absolutely incredible, and one that I'm looking forward to seeing for the rest of the tournament for one, but actually in the future when she cements her place as a starting England player, because she is scary good.
Also as well, Courtney, when we talk about the Sweden game, especially first half, and we say we got bullied, she must be on the bench thinking, like, let me at them. I'm going to go and bully them. Like, I'm not seeing my teammates being bullied. Get me on that pitch. So I'm gonna start throwing myself around.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what you want, though, isn't it, Gabby? You don't want people being on the bench and sulking and thinking, I don't want to come on anyway because the manager's not picked me. She wants to come on, she wants to make an impact, she wants to go and bully players, and again, she's probably got something in terms of that sort of power, and I mean, technically she's fantastic as well. Let's not get away from that, but I think sort of as well as her physical attributes, she's on a different level to probably anyone else in that squad as well. The way that she will just bang into challenges, she's got no fear, she doesn't care, and I think that's sometimes why it's great to take a player like that into a major tournament, because they don't know any different. 100%. They don't play with a fear, they're not sort of battle scarred in any way, so when she comes on, it's just a joy to watch. And yeah, she's a well-liked member of the squad as well. I think that's something to mention. She's very well liked, she's got a great personality, so yeah, the more we see of her, I think going forward, the better.
Come on in, Courtney, before you go, gut feeling, how does it play out?
5-0 England.
Yeah, stop it, Gabs.
If it was, I'd be skipping home, but I think it's going to be really tough. I think Italy are riding the crest of a wave. They're in a point where, 5 years ago, Serie A, in sort of the women's side, wasn't even fully professional. So where they are now is incredible, and I feel like they think it's a moment in time. It's going to be very tough. I think we'll win. I think it'll probably be 2-1. But it's going to be close. I don't think it's going to be a whitewash by any stretch of the imagination, but hopefully no penalties. That's all I
ask. Yes, please.
We don't want pens. Courtney, enjoy it out there.
Thank you
very much. Courtney Sweetman-Kirk. She's fantastic, isn't she?
Oh, yeah. No, just
absolutely fantastic. We're going to have
100%.
team news for you in about half an hour as well from that game.